Hi people, it's me Anja, my pronouns are she and her, and welcome back to my channel for a new recent reads video. The first book on this list is called Unseelie. For those who don't know, this book was one of my most anticipated 2023 new releases, and it definitely lived up to that hype. This book is a YA fantasy following a young autistic main character who is figuring out her origins as well as her magic. This story is absolutely so excellent and it's so well done. First of all, the autism representation was so great and so well done because I felt so seen and so understood by the main character. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The world building was so inventive and absolutely so magical. These characters are so well developed and so distinct. And I love their group dynamics so much. I love their sister relationship so much. I'm so excited for the romance to be more developed in the sequel, which I believe comes out next year, and I'm absolutely so excited for it. This book is so good and it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So with all that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars and I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Year the Maps Changed. This story is a middle-grade historical fiction following a young girl who is struggling with the meaning of home and family during a refugee crisis, because this book is set during Operation Safe Haven, which is when refugees came from Kosovo to Australia in 1999. This story is absolutely so fantastic and it's so good. First of all, the plot was so intriguing and so engaging. Second of all, the historical fiction elements were so educational and absolutely so informative, and I had no idea what would happen next because honestly, I know next to nothing about Australian history, and typically when I'm reading historical fiction, it's typically based around American history, so typically I do know what is going to happen next since I learned that history in school, but with this book, I had no idea what would happen next, which made the story so much more immersive. Literally, this book is so good and absolutely so wonderful. The characters were so well developed and so distinct, and each one of them literally felt so authentic. The friendships were so lovely and so wonderful, and the family dynamics were so great. I really love this book so much. So with that said, I rated it 5 out of 5 stars. It's my first 5-star read of the year, and I really loved it. So with all that said, I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Devil Makes 3. This story is a YA urban fantasy following a young girl who accidentally unleashes a demon in a library. This story is absolutely so good, and it was absolutely so awesome and so unexpectedly good because typically I don't like paranormal, horror, urban, supernatural fantasies, but this book was so good. I was literally on the edge of my seat every single page because the plot was so engaging and so intriguing. The characters were so well developed and so distinct. The romance felt so natural and so well paced. The friendships as well as the family dynamics were so lovely and so wonderful. This book is so underrated and I think that it deserves so much more hype because it was so good. I was literally so immersed into the story every single second, and I'm so excited for the author's next book next year. At least I think it comes out next year. Anyway, the point is, this book was so good. It definitely exceeded my level expectations, and with all that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called City of Nightmares. This story is a YA urban fantasy following a young girl who finds herself at the center of a criminal conspiracy, and it's set in a world where people can turn into their biggest nightmares, literally. This book is absolutely so good and so awesome. First of all, the magic system made so much sense, which made the story so much more immersive and so much more inventive and magical. The plot was so intriguing and so engaging. The characters were so well developed and so distinct, and I loved the friendships so much, and I'm really hoping that those friendships won't be developed into romances in the future, but I'm so excited to read the sequel nonetheless. I think it comes out next year if I'm not mistaken, and I'm so excited to read it because this book was absolutely so good. This story is so underrated, which I know maybe I shouldn't say because this book literally just came out last week. But anyway, all that to say, this book is absolutely so awesome, so intriguing, and so engaging, and I really enjoyed it. So with all that said, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars, and I would highly recommend it. The last book on this list, and certainly not the least, is called Friday, I'm in Love. This story is a YA contemporary following a young black bisexual main character as she tries to have a coming out party, similarly to like a Sweet 16 or something like that. This story is absolutely so fantastic and I really enjoyed it. First of all, the sapphic romance was so cute and it was absolutely so fluffy and so well developed and so well paced. Second of all, the plot was so intriguing and so engaging. Third of all, the family dynamics felt so authentic and so well done. Literally, this book is so good. It's so fluffy and so happy without seeming too cheesy or anything like that. The friendships were so lovely and so wonderful. Literally, this book is so good and I really enjoyed it because it felt like such a sweet, like, rom-com. You know what I mean? Like, this book is so good and it deserves all its hype and so much more. It's definitely one of my favorite books by this author for sure. Like, this book is so good and like I said, it deserves all of its hype and so much more. So please go give it the hype that it absolutely deserves. So anyway, all that to say, I rated this book 4 out of 5 stars and I would definitely highly recommend it. So in conclusion, January has been a great reading month so far. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below the elephant emoji if you made it all the way to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!